100 years ago, 24 years after its founding, the Labour Party formed its first government. While it only lasted a matter of months, in that short time it passed legislation to build more affordable housing, improve protection for tenants, extend educational opportunities, and increase welfare spending. Over 20 years later, Britain went to the polls for the first time in nearly 10 years, just weeks after VE Day. The Conservatives were swept from power, with Labour gaining 239 seats, and on the 5th of July 1945, Clement Attlee became the first Labour Prime Minister with a parliamentary majority. The task facing the Attlee government was huge: to rebuild the country and its wealth following the devastation of the war. What followed was a transformative agenda which will create lasting change. The Education Act, introducing compulsory free secondary school education for all, the New Towns Act, an ambitious programme which would see the creation of 11 new towns by 1955, the National Insurance Act, creating the welfare state, and the National Health Service Act that birthed the NHS on the 5th of July 1948. Great social changes were achieved with Harold Wilson and James Callaghan's Labour governments. Capital punishment was abolished, homosexuality was decriminalised, abortion was legalised, divorce law was reformed, the voting age was lowered from 21 to 18. In 1970, Barbara Castle, the Secretary of State for Employment, introduced the groundbreaking Equal Pay Act. In 1975, the Sex Discrimination Act was introduced, and the Open University was created, greatly expanding higher education opportunities and helping to increase social mobility. Labour would remain out of power for nearly 2 decades, until 1997, when a landslide election swept Tony Blair into Downing Street. The achievements were transformative. The winter fuel allowance, the shortest waiting times in history, crime down by 1/3, the creation of Sure Start,
the cancer guarantee, record results in schools, more students than ever, the Disability Discrimination Act, devolution, civil partnerships, peace in Northern Ireland, the social chapter, 500,000 children out of poverty, maternity pay, paternity leave, child benefit at record levels, the minimum wage, the ban on cluster bombs, the cancelling of debt, the trebling of aid, the first ever Climate Change Act. That's the Britain we've been building together. That's the change we choose.
14 years of Tory failure has left working people struggling to pay bills, unable to see a GP or a dentist, unable to buy a home, less safe in their community, and more at risk of avoidable death. Now, with Keir Starmer's leadership, Labour is once again focused on the needs of voters, and we stand ready to step up and deliver the mission-driven government this country so desperately needs. So as we campaign for this general election, we will remember the incredible achievements of Labour governments past, as we ask you for your support to deliver change across Britain.